Covert keeping it cool. Types of people after high school. Video by cheats. Let's get into this video and react, shall we?
You did it. You graduated. You survived 4
right.
years of awkward class presentations, school lunches that probably violated the Geneva Convention, and your Discord group chat did not get leaked. But now you're out. You're free. And suddenly that question hits like a truck. So what's next?
The big question. That's the hardest thing about choosing in life. Like, even though you choose something that you like at 18, there's no guarantee you're gonna like it at 20 or 30.
People sprint toward college like it's the finish line.
That's how I see
clock
it.
into a job 2 days later like, yep, this is life now. And then there's the rest of us just sitting in our rooms like, should I start a podcast or a pyramid scheme? Let's talk
Straight confused.
about it. The types of people after high school and how weird
Not
this phase of
confused.
life actually is. Starting off, we have the college dreamer. These are kids that always knew they were going to college. They had a dream school, a major, a life plan, a backup plan, and a backup for their backup. They got their dorm set up off Pinterest, joined a Discord server for their class before orientation, and had their roommate's name memorized before they even graduated high school.
Guess what? They was straight destined for college, and then go to college, get them a real nice degree. Then 5 years later, a lot of times, they working at Dollar Tree.
Fast forward a few weeks and it's like,
It's not a bad thing, but take note.
yeah, I'm 14 grand in debt, I hate my major, and my roommate's been coughing since the second week of school. College is cool if you know what you're doing, but most people don't. Most people just go because they're told to by parents, teachers, guidance counselors, and the ghost of the American dream, and now you're
Quote unquote peer pressure.
paying 40 grand a year just to cry in a communal bathroom. Fun times. Then there's the people
Literally.
who skip college and go straight into the workforce. They start working warehouse jobs, retail, construction, whatever gets the bills paid. They're making money, stacking checks, and eating out every night because they still live at home and only have 3 bills. At first it sounds smart. You're making money right away, no student loans hanging over your head, and your weekends are free if you're lucky. You start thinking, hey, this might actually be a better path. But then the reality sets in. The hours are long, the pay isn't as life-changing as you thought. You're constantly tired physically and mentally. You go home drained, you wake up drained, and every day starts blurring together. You're surrounded by people twice your age who have been there since before you were even born, and they'll say things like, it's not great, but it's a job, or at least it's stable. They're not chasing anything, they're just surviving, and then that's when it hits you. This isn't a launch pad, this is where people stay. Because
Sorry, my mic went out, guys. Guys, that I'm literally telling you, that is the worst nightmare of my life, bro. Like, this one time I went to work, came back home, my grandpa was like, you don't worry, you gonna be doing this for about another 60, 50 more years, and then you probably gonna be done. When I tell you, that scared the ever-loving crap out of me. I was like, absolutely not. We aren't doing this. It's cool. It's cool. If that's what you all about, then go ahead and do it. But me personally, that is my worst nightmare. Literally.
they don't have time, energy, or options left to go anywhere else. It becomes routine. Wake up, commute, work, home, sleep. Do that for the rest of your life with...
And I will say, after doing that for about a couple years, just a couple years alone, you just kind of feel like your life is just to work. And for what? Just to survive? All right, y'all. I'm sorry.
Maybe 2 weeks off per year if your
too
boss
much.
approves the PTO. And for a lot of people, the scariest part isn't even the job itself. It's the idea that you could blink and suddenly be like 40, still there, still stuck, wondering what your life could have been if you'd done something else. Then there's that person, the one who said, I'm taking a gap year. Not because they couldn't go to college, not because they had a plan, but because they needed to find themselves, to travel, to breathe, to experience the world. You ask them where they're going and they'll hit you with, I'm thinking Europe or maybe Southeast Asia, you know, go off the grid for a bit. 6 months later, they haven't gone further than the local Taco Bell. They wake up at 2 p.m., scroll TikTok for 3 hours, and then tweet something deep like healing isn't linear. Their idea of working on themselves is watching 3-hour video essays on YouTube about movies they've never seen. They downloaded Duolingo to learn French but stopped after bonjour. They keep saying they're gonna start a clothing brand, and they did design one hoodie in Canva that they haven't posted because they're waiting for the right vibe. And listen, there's no shame in taking a break.
It is some people like that, quote unquote, waiting. My nigga, You never know when it's gonna be the best or the right time. Right now, you can drop it and think it's not the best time. Whole time it is the best time, or vice versa. But another thing about that though is literally like, what was I finna say? Sorry, I gotta watch it back, y'all. I got interrupted.
Ever seen? They downloaded Duolingo to learn French, but stopped after bonjour. They keep.
Oh yeah. What I was about to say is a gap year is not bad at all, because obviously it's people who are literally in their 40s and don't know what they want to do with their life, and just like spend most of it working away. There's nothing. Don't rush it. You get what I'm saying? Because people change. You change by the time, and you change by how much more you grow mentally. But there's nothing wrong with a gap year. But if you're going to do a gap year, get some money. But that becomes a little tricky, because you don't want to do too less hours, but you don't want to do like so much to where it like mentally drains you. If you want to like genuinely think about what you want to do. But at the same time, let's be for real. Like, most people think taking a gap year is stupid. I don't think it's stupid. It gives you good time, gives you more than enough time to relax and think about things that you want to do. Let's be honest. 99% of 18-year-olds do not know what they want to do for the next 70 years. And for good reason.
Saying they're going to start a clothing brand, and they did design one hoodie in Canva that they haven't posted because they're waiting for the right vibe. And listen, there's no shame in taking a break.
Never wait.
Sometimes that time off is necessary, especially if school has burnt you out. But the problem is this
12 years.
Break becomes your whole life. 1 month becomes 3 becomes 6, and before you know it,
don't be like that.
They've built a full routine around doing absolutely nothing. Wake up late, stare at a wall, play some Valorant, hit up their local gas station for dinner, and repeat. But they'll keep saying, "Trust me, bro, I got plans." And when you ask what those plans are, it's always vague. Big things coming. I'm in a building phase right now. No, you're not. You're in pajamas at 4 p.m. They'll talk about launching something like they're Elon Musk, but the closest thing they've launched is a DoorDash order. They keep referencing the economy like it's the reason they haven't made a move yet. Like, I mean, with inflation the way it is right now, bro, you don't even pay for gas. What are you talking about? And look, we've all been there to some extent. The weird limbo phase. You're technically free. You don't owe anyone anything. You're just kind of floating. And for a while, that can feel amazing. You're not answering to teachers. You're not stuck in a classroom. You're not dealing with exams or deadlines. But if you're not careful, that float becomes a free fall. You stop making decisions. You stop trying. And you convince yourself that you're waiting for the right moment when really you're just scared to start. Gap years are
exactly
fine.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44.
Resting is fine, vibing is fine, but if your gap year turns into a gap decade and your life plan still revolves around a clothing brand that...
Let me tell y'all this. If you don't already know this, humans are the best adapters on Earth. We adapt to everything with ease and quickly. And unfortunately, that also means... if you get used to not doing nothing, you're going to not want to do nothing. It's going to make you lazy. So that's why you always got to be like, you always got to do something. Like, even though when you don't want to think, you got to force yourself. You get what I'm saying? If that makes sense, you have to force yourself. Because you don't want to get stuck into that mode to where, I'm not finna do this today, or I got tomorrow, or no, do it.
does not exist yet. Maybe it's time to clock back in. Next up, we have the friend who straight up disappears after high school. High school ends and this person vanishes like it's a Marvel post-credit scene. One minute they were at every hangout, every group chat, every chaotic late night Discord call, then poof, they're gone. They stop replying, they leave the Snap group chat without saying a word. They're not mad, they're not beefing, they just dipped. At first you're like, maybe they're busy, but then weeks turn into months, birthdays go by, inside jokes get forgotten. And the next time you think of them is because Instagram reminded you with one of those weird people you may know stories where they're standing in front of a Jeep with a quote like, "Only forward from here." Then one day out of nowhere you run into them, Target, gas station, Taco Bell, doesn't matter. And it's the weirdest interaction of your life.
That's exactly why I avoid them. I don't want nobody to see anybody. who I ever seen in my past life, like when I say past life, like in school life, if I don't know you as a friend or I haven't talked to you recently, please avoid me. 9 times out of 10 or 8 times out of 10, please avoid me. I be avoiding people. I'm not even gonna lie, because interaction is just weird. Because, like, I don't want, this is gonna sound crazy, right? Don't ever care about what nobody think about you. But as soon as you leave high school, middle school, elementary school, it's like, it makes me feel like they only get to see one version of you and one version only. You get what I'm saying? Plain and obviously, 14-year-old me and 18-year-old me right now, two completely different people. We're on two different sets of timing. Completely different. One's a kid, one's a grown woman. So, just thinking completely differently.
Oh my god, how have you been? Good, I'm just
moving
working a lot, grinding. Yeah, grinding what? No one knows. You're half expecting them to tell you they're a freelance monk or something. And the thing is, they're not weird or rude or distant when you see them again. They're chill, they're polite. It's like catching up with a coworker you forgot you used to be best friends with. You part ways with some, awkward let's hang soon energy, knowing damn well it's never happening. And it's not a bad thing really, it's just what happens. People drift, they move towns, they get new jobs, new circles, new priorities. But it still hits you sideways when someone who was in your life every single day just becomes a memory. You start realizing how many friendships were based on proximity, not purpose. Y'all weren't.
That is so true. You don't know. I lost 1 billion friends because of that. Like, it's so crazy. It's so crazy, bro. It's so crazy.
Y'all just sat next to each other in biology for 4 years. And it's weird because
that's how you know you're really friends with somebody. If you hang out with them after high school in real life and you talk to them, that's a real friend. Most people is just gonna disappear. Not gonna lie to you.
What happens? You think you did something wrong. Like, did I say something? Did I forget to reply to something important? No, they're just on a different path now, and that's okay. It's still
two different schedules, two different humans,
that person to someone else.
Two different lifestyles. I'm telling you.
You'll vanish from their life, pop up months later. Yo, it's been a minute, DM with no explanation. And that's just how life moves after high school, Friendships stop being automatic. You actually have to put effort in, and if neither of you do, that bond just fades. Not out of malice or hatred, just out of life. Sorry, I'll try to keep it lighthearted, not to get too existential with you guys. Alright, next up we got the bum. There's the gap year person, and then there's their final form, the bum. Because the gap year person pretends that there's a plan. The bum, they're not even pretending anymore. They're in a deep void, no goal. No job, no plan, just vibes, vape clouds, and a mattress on the floor. Their sleep schedule doesn't exist. They just collapse at random. They've watched 18 seasons of Grey's Anatomy this month alone. Every day is just a blur of The
bum would be better if they're getting some type of money, if they got some type of side hustle, then they wouldn't be a bum. You get what I'm saying? Other than like following your true passion and getting money and being happy, you good. You won in life. To me, you won. You doing something, you happy, and you making money off of it, you can't lose. Especially if you're making a good living off of it. You can't lose. Like,
talks, microwave burritos, and I'll do it tomorrow. You ask them what they're up to, and they'll go, just chilling lately, trying to figure
I hate that. I'll do it tomorrow. I hate that
stuff out. Bro, it's been a year. What are you trying to figure out? Shapes? They'll randomly bring up business ideas that sound like fever dreams, like, I might start a CBD candle line. I've been looking into, like, vending machines and passive income, You look over and they're watching a 6-hour YouTube documentary on crypto by a guy named Finance Daddy. They haven't applied to a single job, not because they're unqualified, but because they haven't updated their resume since 10th grade when they worked at Chuck E. Cheese for 2 weeks. And here's the thing, it didn't start this way. Most of the time, the bum used to be the gap year person. They took a break to chill and then just never got back up. It's like when your computer goes into sleep mode but never wakes back up. That's them. It's being stuck in like a permanent loading screen. And that's
I just talked about that, y'all. I literally just said don't ever get like that. Don't ever let it get to that point. Sure, take breaks here and there, mentally, physically, whatever you gotta do. Don't ever get like that. I'm telling you.
High school lineup, there's definitely some people I haven't covered, so 10,000 likes for a part 2. Whether you're in college pretending to take notes on a Zoom class or working 10-hour shifts debating if a Costco membership counts as an investment, you're not alone. None of us know what we're doing, and the ones that do, they're probably faking it better than the rest of us. Everyone moves at their own pace. Some people jump ahead and crash. Some fall behind and catch up later. Some disappear and come back with a beard and a business. But no matter where you're at, just don't get stuck. Don't let temporary become forever. Don't let comfort become become your cage. And definitely don't convince yourself that burnout means you're just mature. That's not maturity, that's just poor hygiene and caffeine addiction. So take your time, take a nap, take a risk, but whatever you do, don't take advice from that one guy selling a $97 course on how to escape the Matrix. Okay, goodbye.
Literally. I was literally talking about that. I'm going to get to that in another video. But yeah, you guys, I appreciate you. If you made it to the end of the video, please drop a sub. It'll be majorly, appreciated. And thank you.